Welcome to a special London edition of Sporty News. Today, a Zlatan Ibrahimovic special. Michael Johnson is a bad sport, Sir Alex Ferguson sings, and Kris Humphries heaves a sigh of relief. But first, Oscar Pistorius, who seems to be making Michael Johnson a bit jealous. In The Telegraph, Johnson explains that Pistorius' prosthetic limbs could give him an edge over the competition, which is why he's against the amputee athlete participating in races for able-bodied athletes. Not exactly the kind of sportsmanship you'd come to expect from a former 200 and 400-meter Olympic champion. But the good news for Oscar is that he already has his ticket for London, and that none of the great Michael Johnson's insinuations will change that. Johnson also states that he considers Pistorius a friend and that the South African is well aware of his position on the matter. If so, we dread to think how he treats his enemies. In any case, Michael is on form and has plenty to say these days. A few weeks ago, he declared that slavery had created a superior athletic gene that gives African American and Caribbean sprinters an advantage. All very controversial. Finally, good news for Kris Humphries. The basketball player has just signed a 2-year, $24 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. And he deserves it. First off, for his courtside performances, but also because the poor guy's had a really trying year. It all started with his whirlwind wedding with Kim Kardashian. After just 72 days, Kris wound up alone and brokenhearted. Since then, he's become a firm target for a quick laugh, constantly mocked by supporters of rival NBA teams. To make matters worse, Kanye West, Kim's new boyfriend, fires off at him whenever he gets the chance. So this new contract may just mark the end of this bad luck streak. It's certainly given him the chance to respond to Kanye West. In his song Way Too Cold, the rapper had declared that Kris was lucky that he hadn't asked Jay-Z to kick him out of the Nets. Since Jay-Z is a close friend of West, they even released a classic album together, and he's also a shareholder of the Brooklyn Nets, the team in which Humphries plays. Confused yet? As soon as he'd signed his new contract, Humphries logged onto Twitter and posted, "Luckily, I didn't have Jay drop me from the team, LOL. Take that, Kanye. Bam." The giant, the messiah, the chosen one, Zlatan. Paris is abuzz with the name. The arrival of the Swedish player, 6'5", 209 pounds, size 47 shoes, is making global headlines. Ibrahimovic's transfer to PSG has its faithful supporters dreaming of a bright new future. PSG's owners have certainly paid the price for the star, over $17 million a year to tempt the striker into coming and staying with the club, plus over $24 million in transfer fees, a new record for a footballer who's used to getting nothing but praise. Pandemonium broke out when the striker uttered his first words at the official press conference. Some journalists had been waiting for 3 days just to be the first to capture the Swede's first Parisian smile. By Wednesday, 200 members of the press had gathered to welcome the player. And just like the rock star equivalent of the football pitch that he is, Zlatan made them all wait.
Hello everybody, sorry for waiting at least a couple of days, but before I talk, I want to thank Paris Saint-Germain and I want to thank Leonardo for the great work they have done, because I think they made something that was impossible to possible, and here I'm sitting very happy, and finally I'm a Paris Saint-Germain player.
Believe it or not, but we didn't chat to Zlatan only about football. We tried to learn more about his other passion, Taekwondo. Yes, there's more to footballers' lives than just the beautiful game. Ibrahimovic is a black belt in Taekwondo, which probably explains the incredible kicks that allow him to score his trademark outrageous and acrobatic volleys.
I like martial arts, and since I was young, my father taught me about martial arts and showed me every movie there was, and that's something that has been following me. And why I didn't choose that, because I think I was better in football than I was in these things, and I'm not so aggressive to do martial arts.
An exceptional scorer, but also a strong personality who can be very outspoken at times. The Swede proved it at his very first PSG press conference.
Right, I don't know a lot about the French players' competition, but for sure I will learn more who they are, and for sure they know who I am.
After meeting the press, he headed to the Trocadero for a photo shoot with the Eiffel Tower in the background. As for fans, they can't wait to see him weave his magic on the pitch. Score us some goals, Zlatan. You've got to score goals for us and make small-time defenders like Diawaha pay, please. Manchester United coach Sir Alex Ferguson sings for Madiba. For his 94th birthday on July the 18th, the former president of South Africa got a special gift. During a pre-season tour of South Africa with his team, Fergie wished Nelson Mandela a happy birthday and even broke out into song. Rio Ferdinand then praised Mandela's generosity and his legendary anti-apartheid activism, saying, "In today's society, you see so much selfishness and me, but he gave up himself for a whole nation to make huge strides forward."